Isaby is on the line. Hello, Jonathan. Morning to you.
Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. What do you make of Susan there? She wants an optimistic Prime Minister. Has she got one in Boris Johnson?
I think she's absolutely right to want someone who's going to be optimistic. And for me, the moment of the debate last night was when Jeremy Hunt accused Boris Johnson of peddling optimism as if that were a bad thing. I think what we've seen over the last 3 years is a government which has singularly failed, to be optimistic and positive about Brexit. Now, the British people voted for Brexit, and it was the biggest mandate you've ever seen for anything in British electoral history. We all know that. But far too often, you've had a feeling over these last few years from the government that it's grudgingly managing this decision that the British people foisted upon it. And frankly, we obviously had a Prime Minister who backed Remain, and it's felt like it's been a Remainer government that's having to go through the motions with this referendum result, but not actually believing in it.
But Jonathan, you're the editor of Brexit Central, which is a Brexit website with news, views and analysis, and you made it very clear that Boris Johnson is your man.
Yes, we endorsed him yesterday, and we think that, not least because he's the one who's saying we've got to be out by the 31st of October. I think the public's confidence in the democratic and electoral process has taken a massive hit through politicians promising we're going to leave and then not leaving. And obviously Theresa May has said, 108 times we're going to leave on the 29th of March. We didn't. No, we need a Prime Minister who is going to restore public confidence in that process, and a fundamental part of that is delivering on the promise to get us out of the European Union.
Can I just ask you, Jonathan, very quickly, we've had Toby on, the TV critic, at the start of the programme talking about these debates. There is a debate about the debates now. Did they actually work?
Well, look, I mean, I'm a journalist first and foremost, so I very much believe it's a good thing that politicians submit themselves to scrutiny from the media and the public. And, we obviously, now have debates in this country as part of elections. And I think, once you've started doing them, it's kind of difficult to stop doing them. And I think, anyone who refuses to get involved in submitting themselves to that kind of scrutiny, obviously raises public questions about why they're not willing to answer those questions. So I think, I thought, dare I say it on BBC Radio Wales, I thought ITV did a very good job last night.
That's okay. There's another BBC one coming soon, but it's not a head-to-head. It's a number of interviews with Andrew Neil. Can I just read out this quote from Martin Kettle in The Guardian? And Jonathan, you and I have spoken many years on BBC Radio, so I think I know your answer already, but you may surprise me. This is in The Guardian. Boris Johnson shows he'll be the most ill-qualified Prime Minister of modern times, says Martin Kettle this morning. Smirks, smugness and self-love will not deter predominantly right-wing old white and male Tory voters. What did you say to Martin Kettle?
I just think it's a kind of grotesque caricature, really. I mean, Martin Kettle, I'm sure, is someone who would never in a million years dream of voting for the Conservative Party, whoever was leading the Conservative Party. And obviously Boris Johnson is the front runner to win it on this occasion. And, Martin Kettle takes a pop of Boris Johnson. It's hardly surprising.
Jonathan, good to talk to you. Thank you very much.